Easy, you know the job. I.S.U.P.K. But this no son. Let me tell you how the madness steer. Don't be bad fly when the clock display. Tell a boy say no try box this face. Box switch face. You know how your blood clot just gets to your boy. You must see one map this prayer. When the map stick brace that lick straight. You shot this place. The key never lie your head stop this here. Crack this face. The key never tell us we lock this place. Which locks me. Anyway, watch this place. War with them funny like plastic plate. Hey. We don't play around. When you see the U.P.K around, we bring the fucking A.K around. AR-15s and A around. We don't play around. When you see the U.P.K around, we bring the fucking A.K around. AR-15s and A around. We don't take trip up. We don't take beat up. We don't stay so. I win the next beat up. We don't change up. My eye pop. Everybody's then wake up. A bus boy head top shake up. So tell a pussy well don't violate us. No care where you status, where you take up. Every man a killer kill inside the face. You straight up. Great stuff. One way slick bigger than NATO. Man who bustle to NATO. Only man we afraid that are the creator, the maker. Hey, we don't play around. When you see the U.P.K around, we bring the fucking A.K around. AR-15s and A around. We don't play around. When you see the U.P.K around, we bring the fucking A.K around. AR-15 and A around. AR-15s and A around. AR-15s and let me tell you how the badness steer. Don't be bad fly when the clock display. Tell a boy say no try box this face. Box switch face. You know how your blood clot just gets to your boy. You must see one Baptist prayer. When the map stick brace that lick straight. Shot misplaced. The key them in your head stop misbehaved. Crack his face. The key never tell us we lock this place. Which locksmith anyway watch this space. War with them funny like plastic plate. We don't play around. When you see the U.P.K around, we bring the fucking A.K around. AR-15s and A around.
Oh, don't you say that. You know how niggas be like, I'm listening there for life. Listening there for life. I'm gonna rest for life, nigga. This is blow. Hey, yo, Madara. They go class for you, my nigga. 140 for the road. The world turned its back open. I'm a crippling. We got soldiers. He got soldiers, but I got different ones. Ain't no way out. I tell you once. Don't pray for nothing. Nothing in the curse. We can't forgive us for forbidden. Remain in the prison. Trust in the Lord, but please forgive me for the times that I did. If rain is given, have no respect to your oppressor. Be about your business, say this loyalties and damn sentence. Look, trying to pick up with a blind friend. Hey, they said there'll be many matches. I'm just grinding for my time share. The devils and clan fair, they hunt you like bad fell. But ain't no getting out the game like you munching. You take that oath, it's a done deal. Try to deal death to a priest. You won't make it out in one piece. So you can stand. Just make sure you got the heart. Say your name 3 times and it's death to his heart. Look. So how you feel about this truth out the show? This ain't it like you think, little nigga. I should want even your own people go this show. And the Lord said they hate you for my name. So you better keep it on. Ain't no more guessing. Ain't no more questions. Make sure my election till I'm tucked away like George Jetson. Murder for capital 9, murder at the Capitol. The world is amazement, we like fuck 'em, raise it. I pity those watching life as it goes by. Be giving mercy in this life, I don't know why. It comes smoke, never try to. They dead at home, my brother be the dead, that's all I know. He's a photo salute, my nigga. They like, how you stay focused? I told him I'm motivated cause of you, my nigga. Brotherhoods and weapons, still got weapons on the scene. And I never do my niggas like Bishop did Raheem. Never mind your own beliefs, they under anesthesia. Shorty say she leaving, say she wanna let that love go. So I let that love grow. But if I bring you to my bed, that's a blood oath. So, how you feel about this truth out of show? This ain't the life you think, little nigga. I should want even your own people go this home. And the Lord said they hate you for my name, so you better keep it on. Yeah. Hey, Shalom, Israel. Salak, also audio, you're on mute.
All right, come to water, priest. Hey, shalom, Israel. What's going on? What's going on? I'm Priest Officer 1000 audio with the I.S.U.P.K, which is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We started on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, on the community journal YAHANNA. You already know what it is. You understand? And we preach, you understand? And we teach the truth of this Bible. You understand? We show Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian their real culture. They understand their real identity, the way that they're supposed to live their life. You understand? Like this, we could get the hell out of this, you understand, captivity, out of this empire, man. You understand? Joining with me, I have Officer 1000, you understand, Zabaja. You understand? Messiah Christ, Officer Zabaja, you already know. You understand? And I have Officer of 500, Shia 1. You understand? You already know. And you understand, my main man, you understand, in Montreal, Canada, I have Officer 50 Barakella, you already know, representing, you understand? Let's get it, man. You understand? And today, you understand, Messiah in Christ, and today, you already know, you understand, we're talking about a topic that, I mean, that's sensitive for the Black, Hispanic, and Native community, man. We're going to talk, you understand, about pedophilia. Where does it come from? Is it a culture? Now, you understand? If you go look in the statistic, you understand? What you're gonna find? You're gonna find, you understand, that most of the, you understand, Black women have been molested, you understand, in a young age, and this is why, you understand, they live the life that they're living right now. This is why a lot of them, you understand, become prostitutes. A lot of them, you understand, have a man, leave that man, have another man. This is why a lot of them, you understand, become, you understand, have promiscuous sex. Why? Because of, you understand, what they suffer, you understand, under oppressor, you understand, that is a child molester. Meanwhile, a lot of people, you understand, want to claim that, you understand, the Bible talks about, you understand, child molesting. You understand? I seen post Akim where they say, well, Joseph was like, you understand, 50 years old and Mary was like 12 years old. That's nowhere in the Bible. Somebody tell you this, they don't know the Bible. You understand? They don't know what the hell they're talking about. You understand? The Bible is against pedophilia. Now, you could have, you understand, the Muslim, you understand, mosque, the Muslim religion, where Muhammad had sex with a 9-year-old, I mean, child. And if you read the stories about it, it will tell you that that child was playing with doll when Muhammad had sex with her. So, you understand, this is why the Arabs don't give a damn about pedophilia. This is why you will never see Arabs talk against pedophilia, because that's part of the culture. But let me tell you what,
right?
This is part of the culture of the African, and most, you understand, most of the people that use pedophilia is the white man. What happened recently in Montreal, Canada, right? Montreal North, recently, there was a teacher that was arrested. You understand? There was a teacher that was arrested. You understand? Because he was trying to have sex with an 11-year-old little girl. A white man that was trying to have sex, you understand? And the thing is, they're looking, you understand, they're looking for, you understand, the other victim that might be, because not only is a teacher at that school, you understand, where he got caught, but also, he's also, you understand, in other different groups dealing with children. And that's one thing that we need to realize, you understand? All your organization that's about children, they're run by child molesters. You understand? They're run by child molesters, man. All the organizations that you see out there, even the Red Cross is one of the organizations that take care of their children. They are run by child molesters, man. You understand? Meanwhile, Akim, I don't know if you have ever seen the Children Matter movement. Have you ever seen this?
Nah, sir.
Officer
Salaki, are you talking about Every Child Matters?
Yeah, come.
Oh, come, sir.
All right, but black children matter.
Nah, sir.
Officer Zabaja, have you ever seen that?
Salaki, are you talking about the sign that came out after the discovery of Kamloops?
I'm just saying, you understand, just black children matter. Like, you understand? Let our children not be molested. The sign that relates to that.
Nah, I've never seen that.
Exactly. Why? Because they don't think about it. You understand? They've been doing the same thing to us. They've been raping, you understand, raping black, Hispanic, and Native, and you understand, children since, you understand, slavery. It is nothing new.
Right.
You understand? It is nothing new. You understand, to see black, Hispanic, and Native Indian children to be molested. But you know what? They matter. The UPK, we stand against that. You understand? We
Right.
stand against child molesting. We should stand against, you understand, somebody, you understand, taking a little child, you understand, that don't even know, you understand, the his left foot to his right foot, you understand, just to say, we stand against, you understand, somebody having sex with a child, man. You understand? I know the Arabs, you understand, they have sex with children. Arabs have sex with your children. You understand? You want to have an Arab, you understand, man, you will have sex with your children. You want to have an African man, you will have sex with your children. And I've seen enough of our young sisters, man, being molested. I mean, you know this, you know how many stories that I have in Montreal of sisters saying, you know what, I've been molested, you understand, in my youth. I've been molested, you understand? I've been molested by, you understand, my mother's, you understand, boyfriend. You know how many stories that's out there? Some sisters, you understand, keep it inside. They don't even talk about it. But the side effect is still there. But you know what? The Bible is against that. Right. I know a lot of you think, you understand, the Bible doesn't speak about child molesters. Yes, the Bible speak about child molesters. Somebody bring me the flower of your age. Bible question.
Come, sir.
Salakia, if I may.
Go ahead, priest.
I want to speak on, like, earlier you were talking about how in the Muslim religion, right? Mm-hmm. Their prophet was a child molester, right? In the black community, there's so many crimes that happen to our children that it's like there's a no snitch policy, right? Like, you can't tell on the uncle that you're at the barbecue with because everybody loves that uncle, right? And there's a lot of black people who are either Christian or Muslim. To me, Christianity and Muslim is the same thing. Like, a Muslim's a Christian, right? And when you bring up the fact that the Muslim prophet, right, that the man that Muslims say is their prophet, when you bring up the fact that he molested a child, they damn near want to fight you and kill you. They want to murder you for saying that this man committed a crime, right? And that's how you know that the Christianity and Islam is not for black people at all.
So like, priest, if I may just add, and what you said is true, right? But if I may just add, all you got to do is tell them about the book, and this is bookery. You understand? There's a different books. You understand? You understand? They have the Quran, and they also have the Hadith and the Bukhari. You understand? Now you want to go to in the right Hadith. You understand the Hadith that everybody understand that they say that's allowed and they use, because they're gonna say, you understand, like some bookeries, some Hadith. You understand? Some bookeries. You understand? We don't follow. We don't, because you understand, we don't follow that. But you understand? It's in the right bookery and Hadith. You understand? Where Muhammad had sex with, you understand, a 9-year-old child. She was playing with doll. You understand?
Right. You
understand?
Salakia.
Go ahead, please.
So if they're not following it, would that mean there's a contradiction in their book? Like, Muslims always like to come up against us and say there's a contradiction, right? They can never find it, but if they don't follow it, that must mean there's a contradiction that they don't like.
Khan. It's not in the Quran. It's not in the Quran. That's why I tell you, you gotta have the right book. Understand? It's not Quran where Muhammad had sex with that 9-year-old child. You gotta go in like bookery and the Hadith, where is the history behind the Quran, right? So when you go into there, they cannot deny it. They cannot deny their own history. They know it. They know it's there. But the fact that they're not gonna agree, you know why? Because they think that we don't know about the bookery and the Hadith. That's why, you understand? Well, it's not in there. It's not in the Quran. Yes, it's not in the Quran, but it's in the Hadith. Do you subscribe by the Hadith? Do you subscribe by that bookery? And there's many bookery and there's one that's major. You understand? I forgot to understand that the Ishmaelite name, but that's one that's major that all of them subscribe to. It's in there. You understand? Where Muhammad had sex with a 9-year-old child while she was playing with doll. While she was playing with doll, you know what was written there? She has sperm on her dress.
Good night.
She has sperm on her dress. That's in the bookery. You understand? That's Muslim. That's Islam. That's Christianity. Why do you think, you understand, that those Christian preachers that have sex with young little kids, young boys? Why do you think that? Because it's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. All this culture, all this religion really follow the same ideology. They don't follow God. They don't follow Christ. You understand? Go ahead, priest.
Like you were saying, that's really like, that's really their culture. Especially you have an example like in Afghanistan, they have something that's called the Bacha Boys or a Bacha Bazi, right?
Like you. Don't even get me started with that.
Khan. So the Bacha Bazi, right? It translates to like a Bacha boy and Bazi play game, right? And it's a slang term for some parts of Afghanistan and Pakistan for a custom in Afghanistan involving child sexual abuse by older men of young adolescent males or boys called dancing boys.
That's just like the Christian church. That's just like the Catholic church. You understand? That's just like the Catholic church. And you're going to find out, you understand, all this, you understand, is the other nation culture. You understand? If we could go in the Chinese, it's the same thing. We could just go in all these other nations, is the same thing. You understand? And Salakia, you understand? Shalom to everybody on the chat. Sister, you understand? Sister Kala, shalom. Sister Nawa, shalom. Yahweh Shema Tabashim Yahusha, you understand? Yahweh Shema Tabashim Yahusha to all your sisters. Fernando, you understand? Hey, we don't say shalom, but it's shalom. You understand? You already know. So like Fernando said, we need I.S.U.P.K to come preach in the world, here in the West Island. Yeah, we're in the West Island as well. You understand? We there. You understand? Sister Jazz, you already know. You understand? Shalom, sis. You understand? Yahweh Shema Tabashim Yahusha. You understand? But you understand, all these other nations follow the same principle where they have sex with everybody, anything. They have sex with beasts, animals, and everything. You understand? But us you understand, as Israelite, as Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian, all children should be secure. Now, one thing that you don't understand, you have sex with one man, you have a child with that man, and you just drop that man because he was talking to another sister. You're gonna bring another man in that life, you know what I'm saying, that child's life, that man's gonna rape your children. If it's not in the truth, he's gonna rape your child. He's gonna have sex with your children because he has no discipline. He has, you understand, no knowledge, you understand, of how to conduct himself. You understand? And that's what you should think about before getting another man. That's what you should think about, you understand, before dropping, you understand, that father, you understand, that father figure that you have, that father, you understand, that gave forth, you understand, that child, that brought forth that child. You should think about that before you get another man. Because most of the story that I got in Montreal is the fact that, you know what? My mother left my daddy, had another man, and that other man molested me. That's most of the, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I could say 80% of the story that I have from Montreal, that's the story. My mother had my father. They had me. And once you understand, my mother left my father, she got another man. And that other man molested me. You understand? Who's gonna think about, you understand, the safety of our children? Who's gonna think about the safety, you understand, of these children, you understand, and not to be molested? Nobody does outside. That's why you don't see, you understand, Black children matter. You understand? And most of our children are being molested more than the other races. You understand? Nobody want to talk about it. You know why? Because in every family, there's a molester right there. In every family, there's a molester, and the mother that's in love with that molester, you know what she would say? Don't talk bad about him. You understand? The mother will kick the daughter out for that molester, man. It needs to stop. It needs to stop in Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian community, man. And that's why we talk about it in the I.S.U.P.K. We are live on Facebook, I.S.U.P.K, you understand? No Cowards Canada. We are live on Facebook, on, you understand, and YouTube. It's time for us, you understand, to realize those children, you understand, that we bring forth, they deserve, you understand, security. They deserve, you understand, their life matters. You understand? All the sisters, most of the sisters that you see, you understand, that having threesome, having, you understand, going in gang bang, they're being molested, Akim. They're being molested. Understand? Even they don't want to, even if they don't want to admit it. Why? Because, you understand, if I admit it, I show some weakness or whatnot, they're being molested. They're being molested, so, you understand, by somebody, you understand, that was supposed to be a father figure. That's not a custom. That's the white man custom. Somebody bring me to the verse that I asked for.
What kind? I got it. Other one.
Out of the age. So, like, before you go there, also, Shawan, can you show me, you understand, the process of a flower, Baba Kwasha, if you got it? Now, show me, you understand, how the flower bloom and everything. You could put it on the screen, all right? All right, just show the process of the flower blooming. I'm saying the process of it, Baba Kwasha.
Come on, sir.
I'm saying, Officer Barakella, just wait a second, all right? But it's necessary. It is necessary that we speak against child molesters. I don't know, you understand, how many times people, you understand, in the world, especially Kemet, say, you know what, the Bible is for child molesting. Meanwhile, I'll show them now. I mean, the Bible is against child molesting, and they cannot understand it. You understand? The Bible is not like, you understand, your Quran. I say it's not like Islam. It's not like, you understand, the Christian church. It's not like the Catholic Church. It's not like, you understand Buddhism, Taoism. It's not like it. The Bible is a book for you, so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian. You are the 12 tribe of Israel, man. You are the same people that was, you understand, in slavery in Egypt, in Assyria, in Babylon, in Greece, in Rome. You are the same people, you understand, that always been enslaved because you refuse to follow what's in the Bible, man. The Bible is a book, you understand. If we follow, there will be no child molesters in our community. There will be no whores in our communities. There will be no robbers in our community. You don't even, you understand, you don't even you understand, trust your own brothers or sisters, you understand, because if they come to your house, they must steal something out your house. Well, the Bible is against stealing. The Bible is against child molesters. I know you don't think about child molesting because, you understand, that right is good and you just want to have sex. You don't think about, you understand, that men that you're having sex with might molest your children. You understand? I understand you don't even think about it. But that's what's happening. Why? Because that's what we see out there. You understand? To water, priest. All right, officers, Barakala, go ahead with the precept.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 36.
Go ahead.
But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely toward his virgin.
Toward what?
Toward his virgin.
What does that mean?
Salaki, a virgin is a woman of marriageable age.
Well, yeah, but what does that mean when it said toward his virgin? If any man seems to act uncommonly toward his virgin, what does that mean?
Salaki, if I may.
Go ahead.
Does it mean that well, if he's acting the wrong way or improperly toward the woman that he's courting right now?
Not the woman he's courting. Go ahead, please.
Salakia, because okay, so a virgin is a woman of marriageable age, right? That would mean she's a young woman, right? She's not married yet because she's of marriageable age. And then it sounds like it's possessive. So it sounds like it's saying, like, it's talking to a father, like a father talking.
Calm. Why? Because calm. Give an answer of Zabadja, man. Why? Because before that, that woman, you understand, is given to another man or to a man, that daughter, you understand, belongs to who?
To her father.
Exactly. You understand? She belongs to her father. Your daughter, you understand, once you are gonna have a daughter, that daughter belongs to you. You understand? Until she's married to somebody. And I know that, I mean, there's people in the world will be like, you understand? Well, you know what that means, to have sex with your daughter? Nah. Don't have sex with your daughter. That's a sin. You understand? That daughter belongs to you because she's your responsibility. You understand? Just like your son is your responsibility. But that daughter is gonna be given to, I mean, to another man. Your son is already a man that's gonna conquer a woman. You understand? It's not the same thing. Keep on going, Officer Barakella.
Salakia, I just have a quick question.
Go ahead, please.
Well, that part where it says if a man think that he behaved himself and calmly toward his virgin is like if a father think like he's not acting the right way with his daughter, right?
Come. Now let's keep on reading and see what it's talking about.
Khan. If she passed the flower of her age.
If she passed what?
The flower of her age.
Now in the screen right now, I.S.U.P.K Canada, right? No Cowards Canada. We have the screen. We are live on I.S.U.P.K Canada for everybody that's out there. You understand? Now, what do you see in the screen right now?
The process of a flower blooming.
The process of a flower. So when is that flower past the flower of its age?
Salaka is right after like the flower is done bloomed.
Exactly. After you understand, so what? But give it, man. That's exactly what I was looking for. After that flower, you understand? After the process of the bloom, you understand, that flower blooms. Understand? It passes the flower of the age. Now, when you see in the middle, right? In the middle, right there, you understand? 1, 2, 3, 4. The fourth picture of SHALAM. Can you understand? Put the cursor, you understand, cursor on top of it, right there. Understand? That's the blooming of the flower. That's when the flower is bloom, is ready. You could pick that flower and bring it to your rib. We could pick that flower and bring it, you understand, to the sister in the UPK that does, you understand, an amazing job, an extraordinary job, you understand, compared to the sister out there. Now you could pick that flower and bring it to the sisters, but afterwards, is that flower that really mean something? After the blooming, does it mean something to the sister? Does it mean something after that picture? You understand, where you see the cursor? After that, does that flower really mean something? You understand, for the sisters that's out there, or the brothers? You understand? Does it really mean something?
La, sir.
Why not?
Well, because it's done growing.
There you go. It's done growing. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't really mean nothing. You understand? So like I'm gonna use a term. You understand? Now I'm gonna go explicit today. Her titties, you understand? The time where her titties were perking and everything, she was ready. Now her titties are sagging, you understand? Falling down, you understand, to her knees. so like, you understand? Without having a child, without having children, you understand? Now her titties is sagging and everything. That she's past the flower of her age. You understand? Which means what? The Bible is not with, you understand, child molesting. She has to be in the flower of her age. She has to be ready. Just like that flower, you understand, has to be ready so you can pick it and bring it to your rib and be like, this is what I bring you. I cannot bring, you understand, a flower that's not ready, you understand, before, you understand, it blooms, and bring it to my rib and be like, this is the flower. She will look at me like, big nigga, get the fuck out of my face. You understand? Any brother, you understand, that your rib will be like, nigga, get the hell out of my face. You understand? Why? Because you have to bring a flower that's blooming, that's ready, that smell, that have the perfume, and you understand, you understand, if she put it, you understand, in the vase with the water, once you get home, you smell that flower, you smell that perfume, you smell the incense of that flower, you understand, that's in the house. You understand? The Bible is against child molesting. Keep on reading, Officer Barakella.
Khan. If she passed the flower of her age.
If she what?
If she passed the flower of her
No,
age.
her titties is sagging. Her titties are sagging and everything. She didn't have the kid. You understand? You understand? That box is full, you understand, of spider webs. So like that box is full of spider webs. You understand? So hey, she passed the flower of her age. You understand? Keep on reading.
Khan. And need so require.
Mm-hmm.
Let him do what he will.
Mm-hmm.
He sinneth not.
What does that mean? Let him do what he will. He sinneth not.
Salakia.
The other one.
Go ahead, priest. This about you.
That means like she's ready to be married. She could have a man now.
Come. But what does it say? I mean, he sinneth not.
Salakia. What you asked? What does it mean? He sinneth not.
Come.
Well, because she's ready to be married, she's not a child. Sleeping with a child is a sin, right?
Right.
Sleeping with a woman that's mature enough to be married, a fully grown adult, is not a sin.
Exactly. You understand? It's not a sin. Because why she's ready. She's ready. You understand? That flower is blooming. It's even past the stage of blooming. You understand? Give it up. Give it to somebody. You understand? This is why, you understand, when Jacob, you understand, went to work for, you understand, for that sister, for, you understand, what happened? The father told him, you know what? I cannot give you the youngest sister before the older sister.
Right.
You understand? Why? Because if exactly, you understand, like pedophilia was part of our custom, the father would have give the youngest sister. You would have been okay. Take the youngest sister. But what did the father say? It is not customary, understand, in a custom, part of a custom, to give the youngest sister before the older sister. The older sister should be married before. She should have sex before the youngest sister. You understand? Pedophilia is not part of our culture, man. Understand? Pedophilia is not part of a culture.
Salakia.
Go ahead, priest.
If you is a part of a Hamite culture, right?
Right.
You can see it within our Bible, right? When you go back to Genesis and you read what happened to Dinah, right? One of them Hamites, he abused Dinah, right? And the result of that, well, Simeon and Levi, they put their whole village to death, right? You also,
Yeah.
if you just type it in Google, just a little research, you'll find out that 38% of the daughters of Ham in sub-Saharan Africa, they're forced into marriage, right? Or they're
Right.
kidnapped into marriage.
Right. Says a young child. It says as a young children, as a young child,
Right.
as a young child, like him. And even the Arabs do the same thing. Understand? A young child should be like 12 years old, married to a man that's like 50 years old, 60 years old. That's not in the Bible, man. You
Right.
understand? That's against the Bible.
And Salakia, one more, if I may.
Go ahead, priest.
Even in the movie Black Panther, right? In the starting of the movie, there's a scene where one of the Hamite princesses, right, or one of the main characters in the movie, she's a Hamite, and she's supposed to be saving some Hamite females, some little girls, from being kidnapped to and forced into marriage to some terrorist organization, right? Which is they took that from a real thing that was happening in the world, which is the Hamite group, I think, is Boko Haram. They were kidnapping thousands of girls to be married off to their soldiers.
And that is happening everywhere in the world. You know what I'm saying? Boko Haram was exactly one of the sects, you know what I'm saying, that was doing exactly that. You understand? And but that's happening in the Christian church too. They don't get married, but you understand, married, you understand, with the license papers, you understand, recognized, but they having sex with children. That's why you have the Christian church, you understand, especially the Catholics, you understand, owing money to people, you understand, have to pay reparation to other people, you understand. because of the, you understand, they be molesting children, and not just the females, the males too, especially the males. You understand? But now you have it. You see the blooming. You understand the blooming process of a flower. The Bible is for when that flower is blooming. You could pick that flower. When that sister, you understand, is blooming, that the father, you understand, could give her out to a man, you understand, or she could get a man. But most of our sisters, I mean, been having sex, you understand, at 5 years old. It's crazy. I mean, it's effed up to say, but that's the case. Most of our sisters, they have sex at 5 years old. Why? Because there was a molester that molested them, giving them candy, buying them things, and even then they lie. They lie about it because they received the candy. They received, you understand, what they wanted. So they're gonna lie and say, I wasn't molested. Well, you became a whore. Why you think you became a whore? Because you were molested. Understand? All right, let's drop that. Let's go. Let's get into the video, Bible question. Also, Shah1, do you have the video? If anybody, you understand, in the chat want to, you understand, make a comment, you understand, or ask a question according to the topic, you understand, go, feel free, you understand, put it in the chat, all right? And Salakia for the voice in the video is going to be like a little bit robotic. Well, Salakia for it, you understand? Go ahead.
Come.
Enjoy history.
Ancient Greece and Rome was a pedophile paradise. While the practice of pedophilia today is immoral.
Stop. Ancient Greece and Rome was what?
A pedophile paradise.
A pedophile what?
Paradise.
Is the white man, you understand, from the Greece and Greek and Roman?
God.
This is why you have NAMBLA. NAMBLA, you understand, NAMBLA is an organization that's working for, you understand, just like you have, you understand, the LGBT community. The NAMBLA is working, you understand, to have pedophilia legal. And pretty soon, if Christ doesn't come back first, you're gonna see pedophilia legal. You're gonna see, you understand, grown men marrying, you understand, 12-year-old children. Because you understand, these are the same people, you understand. It was Greek and Rome was a pedophilia paradise, just like today. Just like today. This is what the Catholic Church is a, you understand, pedophilia paradise. You understand? Keep on going, Salaki.
Morally wrong and illegal act, some of the ancient Greeks and Romans regarded it as a common practice and sometimes something to be celebrated. Pedophilia was common in Greek and Roman mythology and daily life. The ancient Romans and Greeks openly practiced forms of pedophilia, although it was not legally or morally regarded as it is today. Pedophilia was common among nobility and the elites and was often seen as right.
So pedophilia is in the Greek pantheon of gods, right? Right, Akim? Pedophilia is in the Greek pantheon of gods. What does that mean, though?
Salaki, I don't want.
Go ahead, please.
It was part of some of the gods that they worship.
Exactly. Where can we find that also?
It's Salaki, I don't want, in the Christian church.
Go ahead. That's not what I'm looking for, but it is. Go ahead. Somebody else?
Salaki, when I'm saying Christian church, I mean like the way they represent the angels, right? Little naked babies.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. But where can we see gods having sex, you understand, with children and everything, so forth? Nobody knows?
So like I said, I'm not sure.
Who knows about the struggle of Horus and Set?
Khan, I don't want.
You understand? Set, what you understand, was living with who? his mother. I'm saying he was living with his mother. And that's why you got that solid toss, you know what I'm saying, and everything, you know what I'm saying? That's all that, I mean, this definition come from. That's why it all come from, you understand? With the solid and everything. That's why. Why? Because y'all could go get the story, you understand? I don't even want to indulge in that. But you understand, that's what it all come from. You understand? It started in Egypt. It started, you understand, with the Africans. It started with the Africans. Pedophilia started out with the Africans. Even the gods of the Africans were pedophiles, were, you understand, homosexuals. That's what it started. And what the white man took that and made it its culture. And that's what we're reading right now. Keep on going.
All right.
Also, Shah one. Go ahead.
Rites of passage for the youth involved in them. The Romans were not as open to the practice of pederasty as they were not open to many.
It was what? Bring it a couple minutes, you second behind. It was what?
The youth involved in them. The Romans were not as open to the practice of pederasty as.
Bring it a little bit further. I want to hear the rite of passage. And somebody get that definition, rite of passage.
Pedophilia was common among nobility and the elites and was often seen as rites of passage for the youth involved in them.
Stop right there. Stop right there. Pedophilia was seen as a rite of passage. What does that mean?
Salaki, I want to have the definition.
Go right.
A rite of passage, a ceremony or event marking an important stage in someone's life, especially birth, puberty, marriage, and death.
Exactly. All right. There's a rite of passage in South America. You understand? There's a rite of passage in South America. You know what they do? They take the, you understand, the ants, the strongest ant, you understand, the ants that bite, the, you understand, the hardest, you understand, biting ants in South America. Put it in the glove, and you gotta put your hand in the glove and have all these ants biting you. That's a rite of passage. And if you don't shake, if you don't break, and just take that pain, you become a man. But you know what was the rite of passage of the Greek and the Romans? That child had to be molested. That's what you read. That's what you're listening to right now. That child has to have a, you understand, a grown man, you understand, blowing his back. That's the rite of passage of the white man. It's right there. They know their history. I'm not making this up. Understand? That's in their history. It's right there. You just heard it. If you don't believe it, search it. The rite of passage of the white man, you understand, in the Greek and Roman culture is for a grown ass man like you to blow the back of a young kid. Then you become a man. After I done blew your back, you understand? Now you become a man. That was the mentality. That was the mentality of the white man. Still is today. Keep on going, Officer Shahan.
Okay.
The Romans were not as open to the practice of pederasty as they were not open to many of the Greek ideas or ways of life.
Mm-hmm.
The methods of the Greeks were often seen as beneath them, even though a lot of Roman culture and myth is taken and expanded upon from the Greeks. Mm-hmm. The Romans would pursue sexual relationships.
Stop. So you understand, they didn't want to be considered as Roman as Greeks, like it. The Romans didn't want to be considered as Greeks, but they follow everything that the Greek did, right? And that's why you have the Tawada Nami of Sashan 1. You have the perfect picture right there. Diana and Artemis. Artemis. Understand? Because they follow the Romans follow exactly what the Greeks follow. They're the same people. They are the Edomites. This is their culture. A matter of fact, that when you go in the research, you understand, this is what you understand the church is worshiping. This is what the church is following. Even voodoo is following exactly those same Greek gods, those same Roman gods. That's what the voodoo preachers are saying. That's what the law is. Those same Greek, you understand, false god. Just do your research and you'll find out. You understand? Keep on going, Officer Shawn. And Sister Nawa said
with
these
younger
people are so like Sister Nawa said these people are so disgusting. Conscious. They are disgusting to the core.
Damn
This is
right.
what the Bible is. This is what the Bible says. You understand? There's not nobody. You understand? More vile, more disgusting. You understand? You understand? I'm paraphrasing. No vile and disgusting, but Esau. I say you haven't seen nothing yet. Esau have sex with the mother and the children. Understand? And don't give a damn about it. Now, Sister Baja, you want to say something?
La.
All right, Officer Shawan, okay, let's get more into it.
for men. Still, these relationships were only seen as forgivable if the older man was a freeborn Roman, and he was having sex with a younger slave or prostitute who wasn't of Roman origin.
Wait,
The
stop.
Lex Scantinia was a law
Stop
set
right
in
there. Now, there's a slave that was a Roman. Anybody who was that slave?
Salakia.
Go ahead, priest.
The children of Israel were the Roman slaves.
Us. This is who the Roman was raping, man. This is who the white man was raping, you understand, since back in the Roman Empire. You black Hispanics and Native Indian, you are the slave of the Roman, the same white people you understand of today. You dummy. Wake up. And this is why you understand you get molested today. This is where you understand molestation come from. Because you been molested, you understand, by the same, you understand, white people. You are the ones, you understand, just like you heard. They didn't rape their own kid. They didn't have sex with their own kid, but with the slaves. Who were the slave of the Roman? You, so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Indian. You were the slave of the Roman. Just like you came in slavery in America, in Canada. You understand? And you don't give a damn. I understand that. You think we live in paradise. You understand? You could have sex, you could eat, you could shit, you could piss. You understand? You don't give a damn about, you understand, what's going on right now. But you were the slave of the Roman. And this is why you were molested, you understand, in your life. Even though you're not going to talk about it, even though you're not going to say nothing about it, and you've been molested. You understand? More than 80% of our sisters being molested. They don't want to talk about it. But this is why, you understand, you become a whore. This is why, you understand, you have sex, you understand, you don't even, you have promiscuous sex. This is why, you understand, you don't feel, you understand, feel like your body, you understand, is a treasure. And you able, you understand, you allow your body, you understand, to be given to anybody. Why? Because you've been molested in your life. Meanwhile, molestation happened in the, you understand, Roman Empire because they were molesting your forefathers, your foremothers as well. It's right there. That's the history of the white man. And that's your history. It didn't start, you understand? It's not just with you understand, that or slavery that we went under. It happened, you understand, since, you understand, the Romans. And if we go all the way back in history, it happens all the way back, you understand, with the, you understand, Babylon, which is the, you understand, Ethiopian Africans were molesting you as well. Assyrian, and so on and so on. Keep on going, Officer Shawan.
place in Rome that penalized sex with a young freeborn male, preventing any form of pederasty as the Greeks practiced it from happening in Rome. Often people do not know that the Greeks and Romans practiced pedophilia. Despite the significance of ancient sexuality in modern debates, there has been little discussion on pedophilia in the ancient world. It's barely discussed on the History Channel. It's hardly considered in documentaries. It's barely discussed in the media, and it's barely discussed among historians. According to ancient sources in Rome,
it's barely discussed in the news channel in history. Why? Because if we're gonna talk about that, we're gonna have to find out, you understand, the white man is a pedophile in nature. That's his nature, that's his culture. Right. That's why they don't want to talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. Why? Because if we talk about it, then we're gonna find out the white man is a pedophile by nature. And this is why in Montreal North, there's a, you understand, a teacher, you understand, that's like 20 years old about. He was arrested recently for wanting to have sex, you understand, with an 11-year-old, you understand, child.
Hey, Salakia.
Go ahead, priest.
Also, one of the reasons why they don't want to really like talk about it in the history channels whatsoever is because the Greco-Roman Empire is being glorified as being one of the most powerful and successful empires on this planet, right?
Right.
They're making movies like Sparta and 300, showing how they were like they were warriors and everything.
Right.
But they don't want to talk about the dark side of Rome and Greek as not only like they have false deities, they were extremely homosexuals, and like we're showing right now, you know, pedophilia wasn't their culture, right? They don't want to talk about that because it it would just show that they're glamorizing homosexual and pedophiles from back then up
Just,
till now, right?
come on. And just like anybody, and just like
Just like the Egyptians.
just like anybody, just like.
Salakia.
Go ahead.
That would be just like the Roman Catholic Church, right?
Just
We
like the.
see that.
Come on, priest. I don't want to cut you off. Just like America.
Con.
Go ahead, priest.
No, law. I was just gonna say like because pedophilia is in the Roman Greek culture, you see it also in the Greco-Roman Church, which is the Catholic Church, where you see 1,000 of our children molested yearly.
You understand? And it's a like a priest if I just made, you understand, with what you say. It's not just in the Catholic Church, because the Catholic Church, you understand, is what's going out, you understand, right now. That's why you understand that's the news right now. But all these Christian churches, you understand, that these children are being molested.
Right.
All these churches, you understand? Your church, you understand, you going on Sunday, on Saturday, there's some children that's being molested.
Right.
Right.
All right. So Officer Shawan, let's bring more to it.
There never, ever was any time when it was an acceptable societal value. Rome's first historian, Polybius, rails against it, calling it a foul Greek custom, as does it.
Officer Shawan, it was an acceptable society value. That's what she said. So it was accepted, you understand, for men to be pedophile.
All right.
This is the white man custom. And this is why you have NAMBLA. NAMBLA. Go look it up. NAMBLA. NAMBLA is fighting just like you understand, the homosexual LGBTs community. You understand? So they could have free sex with young people, you understand, with underage people. Look it up. And most of your LGBTVs, you understand, people are involved or are signed into NAMBLA. Why? Because they want to have sex with children. Look it up. Most of the people that make up the NAMBLA community is the LGBTV community. Keep on going, Officer Sharon.
Its last Ammianus Marcellinus, because the Germanic tribes did it and he found it disgusting. It was said, Cicero was fond of denouncing his enemies such as Catiline, Clodius, and Caesar as homosexuals, and Catiline he very explicitly calls a pederast. Every Roman villain, Tiberius, Caligula, Nero, Commodus, Heliogabalus, is cast as a homosexual, bisexual, or pederast, and deified emperors such as Augustus and Claudius are usually cast as men who are too fond of women.
So every Roman, you understand, king or vice lord, or you understand, like men of power, what's called what? A homosexual. It's right there. People knew exactly, yeah, these men, you understand, in power, they would have, you understand, bathhouses, you understand, full of young boys, having sex with young boys. This is what happened back in the day. You understand? Just like today. Why you think they have the Jeffrey Epstein? Why you think, you understand, like Jeffrey Epstein associate, you understand, Ghislaine Maxwell? Why you think, you understand, they put, you understand, Johnny Depp, you understand? They put Johnny Depp, you understand, court case, you understand, and everything, you understand, public, you understand, for everybody to see. But they didn't put, you understand? Ghislaine Maxwell. Why? Because the elites, the ones in power, are involved in the same custom that they always been into, which is pedophilia. This is why you didn't see, you understand, Maxwell case being, you understand, in everybody, you understand, top news, you understand, Maxwell case, you understand, live for everybody to see. Why not? Because that's what they do. That's the custom. The elites are involved in pedophilia. How are they gonna bring it? How are they gonna bring it? You understand, in the forefront? You understand, when you understand the elites are involved with pedophilia, they're gonna have to work with NAMBLA, just like the LGBT, and bring it, you understand, to the people. Make us, you understand, become like them. Make us, you understand, accept it, and make us become like it, just like the LGBT, LGTV, so like it. You understand? But the elites are pedophiles.
Salaki, I'm the one.
Keep on, go ahead. Yes.
Just like you said earlier, it is a white man's culture, but it's like you said, it's also an African culture, you know, because those Romans and them Greeks, they copied the Egyptians who copied the Sumerians, you know. So not only is a white man's culture, like you said, but it's definitely also an Hamite culture. You know?
You understand? You understand? I'm not gonna talk too much about the Hamites because I want to use the Edomites right now. You understand? We'll go into the Hamites pretty soon, but you understand? I just want to show you, understand, like how much you understand of a pedophile that the white man always been, and that's the culture as well. Just like you say, is they get it from the, you understand, the Hamites, but the white man saw everything. If their culture, they saw it for any you understand, any other race. Understand? They don't have nothing from themselves. They saw everything. Understand? But that's what they love. That's what they love to do. And this is why you have Christianity. This is why you have these things that are happening right now. Also, Shawan, so like before you go there, Sister Jazz says, so true. History Channels talks about everything else besides Rome. Rome's dark past with pedophilia and bestiality. Don't even get me started with bestiality. We're gonna have to make a class with bestiality as well. You understand? At least tell the whole story. Come. They're not gonna tell the whole story. Well, we will in the I.S.U.P.K. That's what we do. Understand? Also, Shawan, you got it.
Tiberius was most explicitly cast as a pederast. Even good emperors who indulged in boys had to be apologized for by the ancients, a prime example being deified Trajan, of whom Dio said,
what is a pederast? Anybody out there? Anybody in the chat? Pederast. Anybody? What is a pederast?
So like I have the definition out of one.
Go ahead.
A pederast is a man who desires or engages in sexual activity with a boy.
That's that pedophile.
Right.
That's that pedophile. You understand? So pederast is a man, you understand, that's having sex with like all the Catholic Church, all these priests are pederasts. You understand? Go ahead, keep on going, Officer Shaman.
Come.
a fault against him was that he was too fond of wine and boys, but he at least harmed no one in these pursuits. Athenian law, for instance, recognized.
Good night.
Officer Shaman, can you expound on that? Salak, I don't even want to get into that, but go ahead. You say good night. Go ahead.
Salak, I just heard them say that they didn't harm anybody in what they were doing. Like, if I may, out of one, like, just from what I've been hearing so far from this video and some of the things you've been bringing out, I remember not too long ago when we were covering some of the stuff happening in the residential schools,
right?
And I remember it was Sir A. Macdonald. I think he was the first Prime Minister of Canada, or something like that. And he was saying that we need to get these Indian children away from their parents because these Native Indians are savages. And we need to kill the savage out of these kids. and that's part of the reason they had forced them in these residential schools, in these boarding schools. And it's like, as I'm hearing this, it's just like you guys are saying you didn't harm anybody.
Having sex with a little child is no harm.
That's the definition of a savage.
Exactly. You understand? The Native Indian is not a savage, Akim. You understand? The Native Indian, you understand, welcome the white man with open arm. Just like you would do with a family member you haven't seen. You see, you understand? Also, Shawan, when you come in Montreal, you see, you understand? I open my arms and like, also, Shawan, you understand? Understand? I'm gonna be in Toronto, you understand, the 24th, you understand? And you understand the coming to General YAHANNA, you understand, General Muhammad will be in Toronto on the 24th to the 26th, you understand, of June. Be there. But you understand, when I see you, understand, you're gonna have your arms open. Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Adawan. You understand?
Okay.
You're gonna have your arms open, you understand? Welcoming. That's how the Native Indian was with the white man. They was like, you understand? White man is here. You understand? Come, welcome. And they slaughtered them, raped their mothers, raped their children, raped their young men, raped their understand kids in front of them, understand the whole entire family. Understand? Destroy them, give them smallpox. Understand? Give them diseases. Meanwhile, the Native Indian work, you understand, double time, overtime, because what they seem to understand, the white man couldn't grow no crops, so they work overtime for the white man, and they bring it, you understand. Once that record, you understand, was ready, brought it to the white man, and you understand what did the white man do? Kill the Native Indian and go get the other crops, you understand, that they had. You know what the white man said? No arms was done. Just like you just heard, right? You understand? They're raping children. They're having sex with children. No harm is done. That's the spirit of the white man. And this is the spirit that we need to take away, understand, from our community. Too many, you understand, black mothers, you understand, black children, men and women, you understand, boys and girls are being molested. We need to take that away from our community, because that's the white man, you understand? That's the white man's spirit. That's the white man culture of raping little kids, of having sex with little kids. That's not our culture. In Montreal enough, if I talk, you understand, to most of the people, you understand, that's out there, or the sisters that's out there, or the brothers that's out there, 80% will be, you understand, will say, you understand, I've been molested. Or you know what? We want to have 0%. We want to have 0%. Let the white man molest their own children. You understand? That's them. But over here in Montreal North, as Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, let us have 0% of children that are being molested. That's what we want. Because you know what? Once they get molested, you know what they're going to say? No arms was done, Akim. It was just another day. It was just an orgasm. Matter of fact, Oprah, you understand? I was shocked. Oprah was like, you know what? That victim, you understand, of child molestation could enjoy it. If the molester is any good, that child will enjoy it. That's what Oprah said. Look it up. Oprah said, you understand, if that child molester is any good, that child that's being molested, that's being raped, will enjoy it. We love it. That's what Oprah say. Most of y'all black women love Oprah, right? Oprah say you should love, you understand, your oppressor. You should love that, you understand, that you understand, that molestation, that you understand, that rape, you understand. Matter of fact, you abort your kid. You kill your kid because of so-called molestation, so-called rape. Oprah said you should enjoy it.
So like the other one.
Go ahead, please.
I have her quote right here. Right. So it says, so what she said, if the molester is any good, the child will know he's being abused.
Right. I mean, that child's gonna enjoy it. That's what she's saying. If the molester is any good, you understand, that's molesting that child's gonna enjoy it. And a lot of our sisters and brothers, you understand, have been enjoying, you understand, molestation, you understand.
And
especially
SHALAM,
with,
the other one.
come on, go
I
ahead.
mean, that's really bold of her to say that, because even at some point she opened up about being molested as a child herself.
Come on.
Yeah.
Well, that means that she enjoyed it. And what you think she's gonna do if she enjoy it and say claiming that she enjoyed? She's gonna molest other children.
Right.
That's what she will do. Understand? And that's why she one of the person that was in Jeffrey Epstein flight log. It's a lot. I don't even want to go into that, but the flight log is there. You could look it up. The flight log of Jeffrey Epstein, every Beyonce, all the celebrities that's in there, Oprah is in there. Understand? And there's video also, you understand? There's video, understand, that from Jeffrey Epstein, you understand, Island. You understand? Understand, Akim. They had the children, sitting on buckets because they were so raped annually, especially young men. They couldn't sit on a normal chair. Understand? The muscle that control the anal. So like I told y'all I'm gonna be explicit tonight. The muscle that control the anal was so loose, they have to sit on the bucket. The video is right there. You just have to look it up. If you can't find it, I got it, but you understand, I don't want to share it. Understand? It's right there. Those children have been molested so much, they cannot sit on a chair, regular chair like you and I, Akim. They have to sit in the bucket because you understand, if they sneeze, they take it down. You understand? If they laugh, they take it down. The muscle, they don't have the muscle, you understand? That contract, you understand? To hold down, you understand, the matter, the fecal matter that's coming from the stomach. Because they've been, you understand, molested so much, it just flow down. You understand? Meanwhile, Oprah said they should enjoy it. That's why we have it out there. Also, Shah, I want to bring me more of this video about the question. Both consent and age as factors in regulating sexual behavior. Women participated in some sexual activities with minors, although it was not a mentorship or celebrated relationship in the way that pederasty was.
Pause.
One example tells the tale of.
So women also had sex with young kids. That's what it says, right?
Wow.
Exactly. You understand? Women also had sex with young boys, young women. You understand? And this is the culture of the white man. And this is what we've been seeing. Understand? I know a lot of sisters that have been molested by African as well as a little kid. Understand? You know what I mean? Officer Barakela, you understand? Because that's the culture. But you understand? We're showing exactly, you understand, the white man, that's his culture as well. That's why, you understand, that's why they do. That's why you have Nembla. And anybody look up Nembla, you will see. That's why they're trying to, you understand, bring forth next. Understand? Officer Sharon, you got it.
Aphrodite, or Venus according to the Romans, the goddess of love, falls madly in love with the mortal Adonis. Although it is common to hear Adonis used to refer to strapping, strong men in modern times, he was often portrayed in art and writing as a youthful, beardless boy. Beardedness was a symbol of male adulthood in Greco-Roman literature, so seeing Adonis depicted as beardless and childlike points to the idea that he was indeed an adolescent teenager. There were female cults devoted to Adonis who celebrated the Adonia, a festival of highly secretive rituals that made the men of Greece, specifically Athens, feel suspicious and inferior. None of which is to say that it did not happen, but it was always something to be kept quiet, done with slaves, or discreetly at the brothel. There was no open courting of boys.
It was done with who? Anybody paying attention? It was done with whom?
So, okay, sir, I missed that.
Bring it a little further back.
Come.
It was always something to be kept quiet, done with slaves, or discreetly at the brothel.
There you go. Done with whom?
Slaves.
Who were the slaves of the Roman and Greek and Roman?
So like y'all want the nation of Israel.
Us. I said us. It was something. I mean, these were the people that were raping. Understand? These were the young boys that they were raping. These were the young, daughters that were raping.
It's not something that you see right now. It's something that been happening way back in the days. Where did the Greeks and Romans learn that from? Anybody?
Slovakia, I want.
Mm-hmm.
They learned it from Kemet.
Kemet, Africans. Now, Sister Nawa, exactly. That's the word I was looking up for. Us. Understand? Us. And they're learning from Kemet. They're learning from Africans. You understand? Which means what? The African used to rape Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian. That's it. You got it right there. White people know their history. You don't know it. You think you're Africans. You're not Africans. Africans had, you understand, the children of Israel as captive, as slave, until they sold them to the white man. You understand? Keep on going, Officer Shaw one. Now, I mean that video, understand, is strong. Strong language and strong for you to think about, you understand, especially for brothers, you understand, brothers and sisters out there. But you understand, now you're seeing real history. Now you're seeing real truth, man. That's not a culture as Black, Hispanics, and Native Indian, man. You seen exactly, Officer Shawan put, you understand, the flower that's blooming. Understand? We have sex, you understand, with a sister that's blooming. Go ahead, Officer Shawan. Check if Officer Zabaja is there, all right?
Salaki, what's that, sir?
And check if Officer Zabaja is in the background as well.
Come.
All right, go ahead, please.
Courting of boys. The Romans were very conservative sexually, and all of the business about orgies was either done in a time of extreme corruption, as under Caligula, when he forced noble women and boys into prostitution, or just plain Hollywood fantasy.
Damn.
Scholars have debated the role or extent of pederasty, which is likely to have varied according to local custom and individual inclination. Historian Enid Block argues that many Greek boys in these relationships may have been traumatized by knowing that they were violating social customs, since the most shameful thing that could happen to any Greek male was penetration by another.
Wait there. They must have been traumatized, right? That's what he says, right?
Come.
From where? From where? You want to play a little bit of the video?
It's a lot. They're traumatized from the acts that were done to them.
From youth. They were traumatized from youth. That's why it was custom. I said that's why at one point these brothers, you know what I'm saying, these Israelite brothers, you know what I'm saying, they was like, you know what, just give in. It's customary, you know what I'm saying, for me to get raped. I might as well accept it. Understand? It was customary. It's traumatized. You traumatize a child when you rape that child. You're a grown-ass man, you understand, having sex with a child. You traumatize that child, man. You understand? That's what happens. You understand? Keep on going, Officer.
Another male. She further argues that faces showing a boy standing perfectly still as a man reaches out for his genitals indicate the boy may have been psychologically immobilized, unable to move or run away.
Yeah.
However, after the Roman Empire begins to crack,
Christianity, the trauma is so great. You understand? You have you ever seen somebody that fears so much or that's in shock because of fear they cannot move?
Right.
That's what happens to a child that's being molested. That's what happened to a sister that being molested. She's so shocked she cannot even move, so she just go with the flow. The best way I could put it for you. She go with the flow, but that trauma is in her mind, and that's why she become promiscuous. That's why she goes into gangbang. That's why she have sex with a man over today, have sex with another man tomorrow, and because of that trauma. In her mind, it's just like, you understand? That's the way I should be. Meanwhile, that's not the way you should be, sister or brother. You understand? There's another way. Come in class, come in to UPK. We'll show you exactly how to be. We'll show you exactly how to fight that trauma and become somebody different than you understand? That man or woman that oppressed you and molested you wanted you to be. We show you how to be royal with a backbone. Understand? Go ahead, Officer Shawan.
He started becoming more widespread and more influential. This is due to Constantine accepting Christianity as a primary religion. Paganism became illegal when Constantine accepted Christianity. Because of this, society changed from paganism to Christianity. And laws were carefully crafted in line with the Christian belief and values of Christ. And when Christianity became accepted throughout the fading Roman Empire, society went through the Dark Ages, but through the Dark Ages, the rules of laws were made, and Christianity and its values influenced those laws. This is how our modern laws became what it is today. However, had Christianity did not enter the culture of the Greeks and Romans, where pederasty was common, widespread, and accepted, it is doubtful that there would now be laws against child molestation. Cultures.
So Lakia, Adawan.
Go ahead, please.
If I may, was not blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans ruling during that time?
God.
So are they saying that? So Lakia, so go ahead.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead. So
Lakia, I'm just wondering, are they really saying that when blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans were in rulership over Europe, that's when that we were enforcing that pedophilia was not okay?
That's what they're exactly saying. Because we were ruling, and we're like, you know what? Nah, fuck that shit. Salaka my slang. Salaka, all right. Salaka YouTube, you understand? For matter of you understand teaching. You understand? But this is where they say, you understand, you know, F that, and we're not gonna have that. Because we were ruling. Let white people will be ruling. Pederasty, pedophilia will still be in, you understand, as the norm today. But once we took power, it was like, I'm not gonna have sex with a child. And this is our culture. Understand? Not to have sex with a child, that's our culture. Understand? We said, we're not gonna do that. You know what I mean? And this is where, you understand, it grew. This is why even the United States, they don't even know what to do. If it wasn't because of us and then, the Dark Ages and what we represent, they would, you understand, let Nembla be loose, you understand, what that's what they wanted to do, really. They would let Nembla be loose, and a man that having sex with a young man, a young brother, young brother or young sister, wouldn't even be considered as, you understand, just like another section, just like the sister, having sister and brother having sex with anybody, you understand, that they're fine any day. It was just like, another sex, another date, sexual date. A one night stand, as they call it. It was just another one night stand. But because of us, it was like, you know what? Let us think about that. That's not how it's supposed to be. That's not how it's supposed to be. But the white man is the damn devil. The Bible speak of.
Right.
I'm saying, keep on going, Officer Charlie.
In society that has not been influenced by Christianity still practice pedophilia and child marriage. The cultures in society that still practice this are mainly countries of the Middle East and some parts of Africa, and it's been reported that some isolated tribes of South America that have not been.
Stop. What are the countries that practice pedophilia?
Okay, they said the Middle East and Africa.
Arabs and Amites. There you have it. So like they're popping fireworks right over here. So if y'all hear they're popping, that's what is going on. All right, keep on. Let's keep on going.
Been influenced by Christianity still practice this immoral behavior, which is why we see this problem in the Middle East and some parts of Africa. In many ways, Christianity has moved humanity forward, while other cultures and society that has not been influenced by Christianity still has this ancient way of living. And the way they think is very much backward compared to our modern society and rules of laws which we all follow in first world countries. So, as some cultures change over time for the better, other cultures stay behind and linger to their old ways, which can conflict with modern human rights activists. And amongst those who have values and morals, and following an ethical moral belief. Those who want to help children find it challenging to do so in third world countries that are not.
You could drop that. You understand? You could drop that. You understand? But now you see exactly. I mean, the point. You understand of what we're saying. Pedophilia is not our culture, man. You understand? And that's why we're trying to fight. I know there's a lot of black men that are pedophiles. There's a lot of people that are pedophiles, and this is why we need to get rid of in our community. This is why we need to take a stand in our community to take that away from our community. Understand? Matter of fact, you understand? Can you bring me to the article about, you understand, the Edomite? You understand that they arrested, Babu question?
Come on.
If you want to bring out the verses or say a comment, understand? Keep that chat alive, all right? If you want to bring a comment or question, I mean, about the topic, you understand? Feel free to do so. I just had to talk. We just had to talk. I mean, about pedophilia tonight. You understand? So I know there's not a lot of precept, but you understand. Just make you see about history and everything. Understand? We show you exactly. You understand that? You understand that you should have a woman. You understand that's. I mean, not past the flower of her age, but that's the ring of the flower of her age. You understand? So all that is talks about. You understand, not being pedophile in the Bible. Keep on going. Go ahead, please.
So this is an article saying Montreal elementary school teacher charged with sexual assault involving 11-year-old girl.
Involving what?
11-year-old girl.
Yo, I don't know. I can't even put that in my mind. Like, you understand? I love women. You understand? I love women to death. You understand? But you want to have a match with women. You understand? You understand? It's a lager, but you want to be, you understand, into something that you could. I mean, you could be pleased and feel happy. How the hell you gonna have sex with an 11 years old woman? You understand? Not even a woman. You understand? 11-year-old child. Well, you can't even, you understand, be comfortable, you understand, in the box. You understand? How you gonna do it when you can't even be comfortable in the box and just, I mean, move around the box? That, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, we're in Montreal North. It's a lot. You know what I mean? It's a lot. You understand? So how you gonna feel comfortable around the box? You understand? With an 11-year-old child, man. It doesn't make sense. Understand? It does not make sense. Understand? But I guess you understand that when you see the Roman statues and everything, I guess the story is true. Understand? If you know what I mean, if you know what I'm talking about. And when you see the Roman statue, the white man statues and everything, with the, you understand, with the micro rod, so like, the micro rod, you understand? I guess the story is true, because how the hell you gonna feel, you understand, comfortable in 11-year-old child? How? You understand? Black man, you understand? Israelite man, we know for that mandingo. You understand? They like you. Wow. I told you I was gonna be explicit tonight. we know from that mandingo, you understand? So how the hell you gonna be feeling comfortable in the 11-year-old child? Yeah, Roman sculpture. Go ahead, priest.
Salakia, one, if I may, really quick.
Go ahead.
You know, just something came to mind that Officer Baraki Allah was bringing up not too long ago.
Yeah.
In that, following people like Martin Luther King, you know what I mean, like really wanting to integrate with these animals, has absolutely destroyed us as a people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so sad to see, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of our parents too, coming from the Caribbean islands and stuff like that, wanting to take on the culture of these people. Yeah, you know I mean, trying to teach their kids to fit in and say yes sir, yes ma'am. You know what I mean? Like, learn their ways. Yeah. It has absolutely destroyed us as a people.
Yeah.
And it's such a disgusting thing to think, because like I said earlier, like, these are the real savages.
Yeah.
Like, Noah posted that comment. Our kids are just not safe with these people. Like,
Right.
It's Gay Pride Month right now, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken. And they're actually teaching our young kids. They're teaching kids in kindergarten. They're teaching our youth, you understand, to accept all their different sick and twisted lifestyles.
Right.
You understand? Their way of life, it's really not for us. We really got to wake up as a people and understand who the real devil is that the Bible
Right.
speaks of. Salakia.
Right. Right. You understand? And it's crazy out there, man. You understand? It's crazy out there, you understand? And just like you say, you understand, what you say is powerful. You understand? Because we don't you understand? We don't see exactly, you understand, what's going on out there, you understand? We don't want to see it, but it is crazy, you understand, for somebody, you understand, to be like, you understand, I could have sex with a child. You understand? It is crazy, you understand? Like, I don't even want to put my, because I have children, you have children, you understand? Imagine, you understand, the imagine the anger that would be inside of you, you understand, knowing that, you understand, somebody did that to your child. You understand? You would want to kill that person, you understand? Meanwhile, that person not even thinking about the danger that he's putting himself into. He just lost. It's just, you know what I mean, I gotta fulfill my loss. And that's the same loss, you understand, with you understand. If you're gonna have sex with another man while you have a man, that's the same loss. You ain't no different. That's the same loss, you understand, when you have sex, you understand, with a woman that's, you understand, that already have a man, that's the same loss. You understand? It's crazy out there, you understand? You understand? And but we gotta talk about it, you understand, even though I don't like to talk about these type of topics, because you understand it brings so many emotion, you understand, there's so many, I mean, feelings, because I know so many people, you understand, like everybody that I could say, I mean, like not everybody, but most of the people that I know been through that. You understand? Been through that. Understand? And just like you say, I mean, yeah, that's because of Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King and the Christian preachers as well. Because the Christians, I mean, they're never gonna talk about against molestation. Why not? They're never gonna talk against pedophilia. Why not? Because they are doing the same thing. Understand? Keep on going.
So like, I don't know if I could say too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like something so disgusting too is that, yeah, I mean, like I hear some of these fake Israelite camps talking about like why is I.S.U.P.K always talking about this so-called white man? You understand? Why are we always bringing out and talking about the different things that they did to us? They don't understand the danger that's around them.
Oh.
You understand? Like we go out to camp and we warn our people to get away from these monsters. You understand? Because like this is the real threat, right? Christ said, "Be in the world, but not of the world."
Right.
Understand? You're Black, Hispanic, or Native American. You're not supposed to be of the world. You're not supposed to act like this place that we live in. You're not supposed to act like these European people and these African people and people. Their way of life is disgusting. Understand? It's so important and so valuable, the work that we do in the I.S.U.P.K.
So like you just getting, I mean, I guess now, I mean, the most I sending you props right now, man. Montreal, no. I mean, it's a like, but that's not, I mean, we in Montreal enough in the ghetto, now, I mean, in the dirty, now, I mean, the underground. You understand? But come, preach, you understand? Come. You understand? All right, let's get more on the article about the question.
Come on, sir. Quebec's education minister has called for a Montreal elementary school's teacher license to be revoked after he was charged with sexual assault and child pornography offenses.
Man, man, just like I was saying, you understand that them devil that you're seeing on the screen, right? Not only you understand that he molested that children in the school, he was involved in a bunch of other things involving children. Now, the thing that I mean we should do, everybody that's involved with children, every you understand, like what you might call it, you understand, kindergarten, you understand, establishment, you understand, somebody, or there should be a, you understand, a detective that, you understand, that just watch are they, you understand, like pedophiles? Or are they, you understand, people that really love children and help children? Because our children are not safe. Nobody could know. I mean, you cannot tell by looking at somebody, you understand, that person is a pedophile. You understand? So we need, you understand, like, you understand, we need to, especially as a I.U.P.K, we need our own, you understand, establishment where our children, you understand, kindergarten and everything. That's what we're trying to work for. Understand? And hopefully we have sisters, I mean, that want to, I mean, build it like this. All children could be safe. You understand? They don't go over there. And even our school, we need our own school. Why? Because these are the type of things that's happening outside. These are the type of thing, you understand, that your children, you know what I'm saying, will come back, you understand, with trauma and everything. And next thing you know, they become bank robbers. They become, you understand, drug dealers. They become, you understand, or just in they have sex with, I mean, whatever they see. Why? Because they're being molested. You understand? Meanwhile, that, you understand, that them devil, you know what they're gonna do? Put him in a psychiatric place and everything. And if he has a good lawyer, after, you understand, a year or two, he'll be free, doing the same thing. You understand? Keep on reading us, Sharon.
Come on, sir. Dominique Blanchet, 27, taught at I.S.U.P.K.
Salakia priest, 27 years old. And you're gonna have sex with an 11-year-old girl? I guess the story is true. I guess the statues are true then. I'm saying those Greek and Roman statues, they must be true then.
Right.
Well, black and Spanish and Native Indian, we know from that Mandingo. Salakia. Just advertising. Just advertising for us. I mean, we know from that Mandingo. You understand? We feel comfortable in the box. You understand? And she called us yes, daddy. It's a lot. It's like, go ahead, please.
Come on, sir. Dominique Blanchet, 27, taught at École Primaire et de l'Art des Soirs on 14th Street in Montreal North.
That's where I am. That's where, you know what I mean, you hear the, you know what I mean, the sound. I said it's not gun sound, you know what I'm saying, it's just fireworks, but, you know what I mean, in the same, you know what I'm saying, area, you understand, of what you understand what you heard. Go ahead.
In Montreal North, and has been suspended following his arrest. He was charged on Monday with multiple sex offenses.
Damn.
Allegedly involving an 11-year-old girl. His charges include sexual interference, invitation to sexual touching.
Now, what the hell that means? Sexual interference. What the hell that means? Anybody could look that up, because I don't know what that means. I mean, sexual interference. The hell? Go ahead, Reese.
Sexual interference. It is Salakia. It is a sexual offense against anyone who touches another person under the age of consent for a sexual purpose.
So they should call it molestation. I mean, they should call it rape, not interference. I mean, but that's I.S.U.P.K. I.S.U.P.K would have, I mean, technical terms for things. You understand? That's simply to explain sexual interference. He wasn't interfering in no sexual way and no how, but you understand? But that's I.S.U.P.K ways. You understand?
Right.
Go ahead, please.
Invitation to sexual touching, sexual assault, child luring, possession of child pornography, and making sexually explicit material available to a child.
And I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of these white men, they're into that. They have child pornography in their phones or in their computer. Most of them. You understand? And I think you understand that there's an amount that you gotta have in your phone or on your computer, whatever, and they come to you, they come after you. But you understand, most of them is into that thing, have one video, you understand, their computer, you understand, whatnot, and they're watching that, you understand, that videos over and over. I say so they won't get caught. But most of them are into it. All right.
Right.
Go ahead.
Con. The facts reported are serious and totally unacceptable. Minister Jean-Francois Roberge wrote in a tweet Tuesday morning, adding that he requested the teacher not be allowed to teach. The charges, first reported by LA Press, allegedly took place between December 24th, 2021 and May 27th of 2022. In a statement to CTV News, the school service center said that it takes the situation very seriously.
All right. So they take it very seriously, right? So why don't they ban pedophilia then? Why don't they make you understand those pedophiles, you understand, not just what about why even you understand, so like why even you understand let the Catholic Church, you understand, be alive today, be functionable today, if they take that seriously. Meanwhile, you understand, we've been seeing, you understand, most of the Catholic Church, you understand, preachers, you understand, priests are molesters, are pedophiles. So why not call it a cult, you understand, close the Catholic Church if they take it seriously? Why not? Why not take all these churches, you understand, and shut them down? Because most of the preachers, you understand, Christian preachers are pedophiles as well. Why not? If they take it seriously. But you know what? Who takes it seriously? Us, I.S.U.P.K. And that's why we're talking about it. You understand? That's why we're showing you, you understand? That's the culture of the oppressor. Go ahead.
Come. The teacher in question was suspended as soon as we were informed of the complaint against him. A police investigation is underway, and we are working fully with the various stakeholders involved. Byron added that parents and school staff were notified of the situation on Monday. A psychologist and a sexologist will be made available to students to support them in light of the teacher's arrest. In a release later on Tuesday, Montreal police said they're trying to identify other potential victims.
So like, can you hear me?
Come, sir.
And can drop that, bring me to the article on the collector with the pedophilia in ancient Greece. Let's get into it.
Salakia,
Go ahead, please.
if I may, that was a heavy article. And there
Come.
is a major problem with Christianity and the Catholic Church. So much so that our children aren't safe there, right? In Toronto, a few years back, a school at St. Clair and Bathurst, this is a Catholic school filled with predominantly Edomites, right? Caucasian young children. There was a gang assault by a group of Edomites on another child, right? These those monsters, they've been charged. Some of them has been convicted, and and if you're wondering what kind of school it was definitely a Catholic school, right? And as you said earlier, the pedophilia and the pederasty is deep in the culture of the tribe of Edom.
Come. Understand? I mean, this is the culture, I can, you understand? This is why we're seeing what's going on, you understand? And the thing is that the sad thing is, you understand, a lot of black men, you understand, took on that culture of the white man and doing the same thing, you understand, to black people, to their own people, you understand, to their own family, to their niece, to their, I mean, to their, you understand, nephew. Meanwhile, they're destroying our own people. We're destroying our own people, man, by doing so. You understand? Now, I'm not gonna preach now into the white man, you understand, not to be a pedophile because that's his nature. But I gotta show you exactly that is the nature of them, and we should be separate from them. We should not be like them. The white man kills a lot. You understand? The white man is the worst of the worst on in this earth. Should we be like them, or should we be different? You understand? It's like, and the answer should be simple. We should be different from the oppressor. You understand? Just like Officer Zabaj said, you understand? This shows exactly, I mean, the Catholic Church, you understand? These Christian church, you understand? This is what they follow. You know what I mean? All right, let's get the other article about question. There's a lot of article that we wanted to bring out, but we won't have time. Akim, do you think that we should, you understand, part 2 of this class?
Salakia, we can definitely get more into it.
So we'll do a part 2 of this class, all right? Because you understand, pedophilia, we need to erase pedophilia in our community. So we'll do a part 2. You understand, like this. You understand? Go in every, you understand, pedophiles. Now, I mean, they have groups in Facebook as well. Put that class on. You understand? And everybody, you understand that the victim of pedophilia, they have groups also. Put that class in there, all right, Akim?
Come on.
All right, let's get to the other article.
Sir, this article says pedophilia in ancient Greece and Rome. While the practice of pedophilia today is a morally wrong and illegal act.
It's morally wrong. It's like a morally wrong and illegal act. Meanwhile, the Catholic Church is doing it. I mean, meanwhile, the Catholic Church is doing it. Meanwhile, the Catholic Church is teaching about God. Meanwhile, the Catholic Church is using the Bible. But pedophilia is morally wrong. So why the hell the Catholic Church has the Bible in their hand?
Right.
Why the hell you listen to the Catholic Church, man? Why the hell you listen to your Christian preacher? Meanwhile, he's a pedophile. They say it's morally wrong. Think about it. Go ahead, please.
Some of the ancient Greeks and Romans regarded it as a common practice. And
it's
sometimes
it's common. It's something we do every day. It's coming for us to eat, right? It's coming for us to gather together. It's coming for us to love one another. But you know what? For these Edomites, for the Catholic Church, for these, you understand, it's something common for the youngsters just to have sex with a little child. Go ahead.
Is regarded it as a common practice.
Salaki again. Don't be shocked when you understand when you put your child, you understand, in a school full of white people and that child be molested. Don't be shocked when you understand when you put your child in the kindergarten when it's all white people, you understand, and they say, "Oh, my child was molested." You should know better. That's the culture. That's, you understand, it's who they are. Salaki, go ahead.
And sometimes something to be celebrated.
What? Oh my goodness! So like, did I hear right? So like, is my ear? I mean, having default? So like, can you repeat that, please?
Concert. And sometimes something to be celebrated.
So wait, pedophilia should be celebrated?
Good night.
Is Salaki, Akim, is that what I'm hearing right now? Pedophilia should be celebrated.
Sir.
I mean, we're not. This is the first class we didn't even bring like a lot of verses, Akim, and people. I mean, Akim, that's out there. But we need to talk about these things, man. We need to talk about this. Pedophilia used to be celebrated. Nah, think about your children. Those children, I mean, lives matter. Their sanity matters. Their well-being matter. Meanwhile, you know what? The white man say, you know what? Let's celebrate pedophilia. Keep on going to Officer Shalom.
Pedophilia was common in Greek and Roman mythology and daily life.
That's nice. So like, can you just put the picture now, maybe before you go down? Put the picture, but question. Good night. This is what you have. This is the oppressor culture. This is black, you understand? African culture, Arab culture, and the white man culture. Everything else, you understand, but the 12 tribe of Israel, this is the culture right there.
Okay.
So you're gonna say, you understand, you happy to be black and everything. African do the same thing. That's the culture. That's where the Greeks and Romans learned it. Now, everybody agree. You understand that the Greeks and Romans learned from Africa, from the Africans. Where did they learn this behavior from then? Well, Africa then. Go ahead, Officer Shawn. Could they take that picture? Out of my face. It's like
Good on concept. Pedophilia is defined as a sexual attraction to children.
Mm-hmm.
In modern times, pedophilia is seen as morally abhorrent behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And it is defined as a psychiatric disorder.
A what?
A psychiatric disorder.
What and as a sexual deviancy, what else was a psychiatric disorder? What else?
Pedophilia.
Go ahead, Officer. Not Officer Shawn, not pedophilia, since we're talking about it, but something else. Officer Barkelly, you got it?
Yeah, the alternate lifestyle, homosexuality.
LGBT. Give him a hand. That LGBT lifestyle used to be a sexual, you understand, like, you understand, a morally, and you understand something, you understand, that was, you used to be crazy, you understand. Then we look up to you, like, you understand, you crazy, or you possessed with demons. You understand? You want to be a lesbian, bisexual, and everything. Read it again, Officer Shawan.
Kind of concept. In modern times, pedophilia is seen as morally abhorrent behavior. And it is defined a psychiatric disorder.
Which means what? That person is crazy.
Okay.
You understand? That person is crazy. Just like homosexual used to not be, you understand, be in the same category. Understand? You homosexual, you're a lesbian, you are crazy. You're insane. You don't know right from wrong. Understand? Keep on going.
Acting on pedophilia, either by obtaining pornographic material of children, or partaking in sexual or romantic relations with a minor who is under the legal age of consent is illegal.
Exactly, just like we just seen with the other article, with the understand, with them Edomites, you understand, that had sex, you understand, or luring children that's underage. Sister Jazz, Gigi Rock say that's probably why, in the chat, that's probably why they push monogamy over polygamy, because their preference wasn't grown adult woman. This is the Nami got into something deep that we're gonna touch in the second part of this class. And you're gonna realize, you understand, like, the white man only had sex with women because they need to procreate. If they wanted pleasure, they want to just, so like, I'm gonna go explicit tonight. Maybe next class I'll do it. I'll restrain myself a little bit. But the white man, if he wanted to bust a nut, he would have sex with his children, or with a child. That's in their culture. Understand? If he wanted to bust a nut, he would have sex with that woman. Only he would have sex with that woman just to procreate, have children. If he wanted pleasure, he would have sex, you understand, with a child, his daughter, his son, and so on. Matter of fact, even with an animal.
Right.
You understand? Even with an animal instead of that woman. Meanwhile, Officer Barakialo, there's sister that say, you understand, the white man created this empire for the white woman. Nah, it did not. He created for him. The white man would rather have sex, you understand, with a child or with an animal instead of his woman. He only has sex with his woman to procreate. You understand? Gigi Ross, you're on point. Understand? Go ahead, Officer Sharon.
Okay. forms of pedophilia. Oh, Salakia. But the ancient Romans and Greeks openly practiced forms of pedophilia, although it was not legally or morally regarded as it is today.
Which means, you know what I mean, they didn't have no law against it. You do it, you do it. You just, I mean, live your life. You just be a sexual deviant. Okay, so be it. You understand? There was no law against it. You understand? There's no law, you understand, for it. You just do whatever you want. You understand? Just like the Freemason, just like, you understand, do what thou wilt. You understand? If you go look, you understand, the Freemason, you know what I mean, put in do what thou wilt, you understand, in the on Google Freemasonry, you understand, you will see, you understand, Albert Pike, not Albert Pike, you understand, but what you want to call it, you understand, Alistair Crowley, you understand, Alistair Crowley, and so on and so on, you understand, because it's just like do what thou wilt. That's how they used to live, you understand, and that's how they live today still, you understand. Well, we're not gonna hold you, I mean, much further. I said we're gonna have a part 2 of this class. We and in the part 2 we're gonna go into Cupid. We're gonna go in. I mean the homosexual gods of the, you understand, of the Greeks and the Romans. You understand. I wanted to go into all of that, but you understand, unfortunately we didn't have time. You understand. So
Salakia priest.
go ahead, priest.
If I could, I wanted to bring out one precept, right? Because we've been talking, Khan, throw out a priest. We've been talking about how this has been happening to us for a long time, right? And it even speaks about this in the Bible where our children were taken, right? So if I could, can someone get me Joel 3:3?
Khan.
God.
Right? And as we read Joel 3:3, if you start at the top of the chapter, it talks about the Most High remembering our captivity and how he's going to gather the nations who came up against Israel, did heinous, monstrous acts against us, and bring them to the valley of Jehoshaphat, right? Which that's what we're seeing now, where these nations, they're gathering to go to war, right? That's why in the UPK, we pray for the destruction of Babylon, of our oppressors, right? Because they're just monsters. They're disgusting. They're vile creatures who will, if you leave, like, okay, you're not going to leave your child around a lion and walk away, right? But for some reason, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, well, the reason is because of the Christian church. We leave our children around these oppressors, right?
Right.
And then we act all surprised when something horrible happens. When you molest a child, that's murdering a child. That child is never the same.
Right.
Right? It's you've killed that child, right? And the Most High, he talks about them doing this to us. If someone can read the scripture, Baba Kashar.
Khan. This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot.
Right. So what they did was they sold us, right? They destined us for a possession or to be sold as something for anything, right? And they sold a boy as a harlot, right? A harlot is another word for a whore, right?
Bitch.
They
Right.
sold little boys to be
Bitches.
molested, and just again, child molestation is murder. They sold children to be murdered. Their whole spirit is destroyed. And the only way, now you could even look at for instance Hassan Campbell, right? That brother, he talks about a lot of things. Some of the things he talks about, he's right, but just look at how he acts. He doesn't act like a man anymore. He acts really effeminate. Right? And he's not effeminate as like as some victims who fully go far left into it, where he's wearing a dress, but he just, the way he carries on is not like a strong brother. He carries on like a brother who's been destroyed, right? And they cast lots on our people and sold boys for harlots. Keep reading.
Khan. And sold a girl for wine.
They sold our little children, our little sisters, for something as small as wine. Right, wine, you can listen. You can go get wine out the LCBO for damn near nothing, for $8. They were selling our little daughters for wine. Right, you could read it one more time.
Khan, Joel chapter 3, verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine.
Right, and this is what they do to our children, just like Officer Adiar was bringing out earlier with the monster Epstein, who later killed himself before he could stand trial. Right, they're saying they're saying that he killed himself, and there's conspiracy saying he was murdered. Either way, they've always taken our children and sold them. If you
So like, I just want to bring a parenthesis, but there's video of him being alive in his own island as well, right? And I mean to
God, that's it's terrible, right? The oppressor, he's made so much money off the children of Israel. They could buy an island to go molest our children. And now, right? The only way to make a as a Benjamite, we'd say a fish, right? I'm just gonna say the only way to make a homosexual is to sexually abuse that child, right?
Right.
Salakia, the point I was bringing out was, Salakia, one moment, let me just get it right back. That as they destroy our children, some of them, they fall victim to going into that same lifestyle, right? And this is what they push amongst us. That's why Disney just came out just the other day saying they want 50% of their characters to be homosexuals. Right. I had another point, but it's seeming to slip my mind at the moment. During part 2, I'm gonna definitely bring it out.
Come on, so I mean, we're gonna have part 2 of this because we definitely need to talk about, you understand, like all this, I mean, nonsense, you understand, behavior, I mean, in our community. Understand? We need to destroy that. I mean, that spirit, you understand, in our community. You understand? Understand? And that was an excellent precept as well. You understand? Like, you understand, because they brought us, you understand, to be like bitches. Really. Understand? So like I told you, I was gonna be explicit, you understand? But you understand, I could have been more, but you understand, I restrain myself a little bit, you understand, so for y'all not to panic and be like, yo, UPK get niggas, I mean, wow, so like you understand, but you understand, it is the truth, you understand. We gotta speak the truth, man. You understand? If nobody else will speak the truth, so like you. I said, there you go. If nobody else will speak the truth, we will speak the truth. Most High in Christ. You understand? So that being said, we'll be, I mean, with you with part 2 pretty soon. And that being said, I will pass the class, I mean, to Officer, I mean, 500 Shah 1. That being said, Shalom Israel. Don't forget, I mean, June, I mean, the 24th, understand, in a couple weeks, we will be in Toronto, coming to General YAHANNA and General Muhammad and the you understand, all the brothers, that's I mean, coming from the States. We'll be in Toronto. Make sure you are there. You want to understand? You want to know, you understand, how to get there? You have questions? Contact Officer 500, 5,000, so like 5,000 a bond. Understand, like this, you understand? You go have your question, you understand? Answer pretty quick. Make sure you are there, you understand? Montreal, we're gonna be there. Toronto, we're gonna be there. You understand? You already know, you understand? Contact officers about you understand, for you understand itinerary, you understand what we're gonna do. Contact also 1,000 about you already know, you understand? So that being said, Montreal, Canada, Toronto, Shalom.
Let's clap it up for Officer 1,000 Adiar. I'm going to give the I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they're off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. They need transportation. The teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18, verse 21, and Malachi chapter 3, verses 8 to 10. Ma'ashra means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. We got the Feast of First Fruits coming up on Sunday, June 12th. I believe that's this upcoming weekend. Sunday, June 12th is the Feast of First Fruits. To any brother who wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. With that said, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers, and we're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imadium, which means stand. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahba Shem Yadyamatah, Sar, turn and face the sisters. We're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Imajim Shabbat, Imajim, Barak, Yahweh Shemar, Yadyamatah, which means hands down. Class dismissed.
Right.
Salakia, before you leave the class, I'm going to put the sign-out links in the chat right now. Make sure you hit those sign-in links, hit those sign-out links. All right. Shalom, Israel.
Hey, shalom, Israel. Elijah.
It's easy to sum it up when you just talk about practice. We sitting here, I'm supposed to be the franchise player, and we're in here talking about practice. I mean, listen, we talking about practice. Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice. Not a game. Not the game that I go out there and die for and play every game like it's my last. Not the game. We're talking about practice, man. I mean, how silly is that? And we're talking about practice. Best believe that I'm top 3. The only thing is I'm not 2 and I'm not 3. Put me anywhere of it and wonder it's not me. It's beef, we shut a nigga block, that's chop cheese. No peace, the butterfly sting him, that's Ali. You read, I teach you with the handle, that's Kyrie. Machines you hook like a Roman, that's IV. You a sheep, I'ma go, it's a difference, so watch me. You weak, all hooks, no punches, so block these. They mock me, I just show them how it goes. Try to stomach this thug life. They bring out the nose, bandana on the grip. All heads coming out the foe. Connected from Cali to New York, niggas, so let it go. Pay for this. Nigga, I eat bars and drink flows, thinking you woke into your third eye peephole. Line for line, this shit too easy. It's like a free throw. Mastered the game too early. This bitch a cheat code. It ain't a game. These niggas lame. State bring a shame. If I'm with an officer, it's a number in his name. We ain't the same. We want the easy